Hi, welcome back to another episode of the Big DK Energy Podcast. My name is Danny K, or the DK in the Big DK Energy, and Orlando is where I currently live, and there are some hidden gems around here. And one of them is this person that's sitting across from me today. From the area himself, he went to Boone High School, then he joined the U.S. Army for 9 years, where during his tenure he was a U.S. Army Ranger. Now he is a range safety officer at Machine Gun America, and is working with Bauer Exothermic. And today I invited him for him to tell his story. So please help me in welcoming today's guest, Mr. Kyle McManus.
Good to be here.
Thanks, man. I know you're a busy guy, doing stuff, but I appreciate your time.
It's actually fun that I listen to podcasts.
That's fine.
But you're like, hey, you want to be on one? And I was like, sure, why not?
Hey, listen, I think you're an interesting guy, and I think people would love to hear your story. So why don't you start us off with a little bit about you?
What do you want to know?
Well, just you're from the area, so you've been here all your life kind of thing, right?
Yeah, born and raised here. I moved away when I was 18. Played 1 year college ball in Jacksonville.
Oh, no way. Which one? Which university?
Just a little community college, JUCO ball. And then went to Santa Fe my sophomore year, and then realized what partying was, like the real college partying life.
Of course.
Got into that scene, didn't make grades, came back down here, and then I was like, what else am I going to do? And I was like, I'll just join the Army.
Nice.
And I was there from 2008 to 2017.
Oh, shit. Yeah, that's a very long time. And you said 9 years, right?
9 years, yep.
That's about around the same time as my dad was. And you were part of the U.S. Army Rangers, if I'm correct?
I was, yep.
Nice. What made you want to become a Ranger? Because when people go into the Army, I don't know if some people know what MOSs they want to go into, but are a lot of people's first thoughts going into Ranger school?
When I first learned about Rangers, if you want to call it that, honestly I had no idea what the difference was between Ranger school or Ranger regiment. But before that, we went past that, I actually wanted to be a Navy SEAL first.
Oh, really?
And I had the contract signed up, had my boot camp date, and when that date came, they didn't ship me out. So I went in the recruiter and said, hey, what's going on? Like, we had to push back the date to make a bigger SEAL class, whatever excuse they gave me, and that lasted for a year and a half.
Oh.
So for a year and a half, like every time that month would come, hey, am I leaving? No, you're not leaving yet. Keep going, a year and a half, and finally I was over it. I was like, hey, I don't know what's going on here. Like, ship me out to basic training. Like, oh no, we can't. And I was like, all right, well then release me. They're like, no, we're not going to do that either. So I believe it was Rick Scott. I had to write a handwritten letter to Rick Scott, and he released me. That was probably April of 2008. And then he wrote the Navy Department, which was right here by the Fashion Square Mall. Mm-hmm. They released me, and then within like a week, I had already signed up for the Army, and 4 days after that, I was gone.
Okay,
got it. A very fast process.
So, were you in the Navy when you were signing up?
No, I wasn't. No, I was still here, living in my mom's house.
Okay, got it. Because
that was like my initial goal. I want to be a Navy SEAL. Like your typical Hollywood shit. That's what you see.
Okay,
you see all those movies. I want to be a Navy SEAL. They're the best of the best.
Yeah, but then everyone doesn't like to run though, and that's the problem.
Well, yeah, swimming is probably the biggest thing, but...
Oh, that's right, and also with the drown proofing, that part just looks scary.
Yep.
I heard somewhere that, you don't have to be in the Army to do Ranger School, or...
No, any branch can do it.
Is the same thing with the Navy SEALs, though, or is that just
It's all Navy, yeah.
Got it.
There used to be a program I heard about back when I was in where you could go from the Army and go over to the Navy, do buds, and then you would transition to the Navy. I didn't hear of anyone doing it, but that was a thing that I heard about.
Interesting, because whenever I hear that, I think of David Goggins, because he went through Ranger School, but then he wasn't Army, though, right?
I think he was all three. I think they said he was a Navy SEAL, a Green Beret, and a Ranger or something like that.
I mean, that's pretty badass, but...
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
But it's just by going to Navy SEALs, he could, go through buds, but not... Okay, that makes sense now.
Yeah. Yeah, any branch to go through Ranger School. We had Coast Guard kids in our class, too.
That's pretty awesome, though. So, were you intimidated when you went into Ranger School?
You don't start out going to Ranger School first. You asked me the question of how I chose Ranger or whatever. I didn't know the difference, like I said, between school and regiment. Mm-hmm. Legitimately, I was fucking playing the first Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and the biggest character was a Ranger. Oh, I'm going to fucking do that now. I don't kick fucking doors in. And that's when I had made the switch. So then I was like, I'm going to be a Ranger. And the recruiter didn't tell me the difference in the two. He's like, oh, okay, you want an option 40, you want a RIP contract. I was like, I don't know what RIP was. I have no idea what that is. Like, sure, that sounds great. Let's do that. And then you get to the standard pipeline, basic training, airborne. Then you get picked up at RIP. And then that's when the shit show starts, man. They pick you up to start beating the shit out of you right off the bat.
Oh, shit. I remember my dad telling me stories of how, drill instructors, they look like they can hurt you, but it's they're not supposed to. But I'm assuming it does happen regardless.
Oh, it definitely happens, yeah. And I'm sure it's a lot worse now. I don't think he even like look at you wrong without people crying. And
It's that bad.
probably, yeah. I mean, when I was in, I don't know how true it was or not, but they said there were stress cards in basic. So if like you were too stressed out, you held up a red card like soccer, and they would like stop training.
Oh, for real?
I don't know how true it was. That was after my time, but that's a myth that we were hearing when I was still in.
I didn't know that was even a thing, because I feel like a lot of people would be like, oh, they're just pussying out now.
That's what we would say, yeah.
Got it. So everyone just kind of hush-hushed and just kind of just went with it.
Yep.
Well, if anything, it turned you into stronger guys.
Yep.
And I guess it kind of bonded you guys together, the fact that, man, we hate this guy because he beats us.
I loved it. That's all I was there for. You know what I mean?
Did you enjoy it when they did, what was it, not mustard gas, but tear gas?
The CS gas?
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty fun now.
Were you smiling when everything was getting into your eyes and whatnot?
I think, because there was a few of us that, like, you find your clique, and there was, like, I don't know, 10 to 15 of us that had these RIP contracts, these Ranger contracts, so we all kind of hung out together, did shit together, worked out together, and then, yeah, it was the same shit, like, we all went in there and came out on the backside, and we were laughing because kids were, like, throwing up and crying, and so I mean, that shit's funny to me, you know what I mean?
What, you didn't throw up at all?
No.
Dang, you're just built different, I guess.
Well, that's not everyone was throwing up, you know what I mean? But it just sucks.
Okay, got it. I mean, yeah, I would understand that it sucked, but then again, I'm a civilian, so what do I know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember my dad telling me about that, and I go, wow, that sounds really fun. He goes, no, it ain't.
I think there's videos of it now that you can find online. Like, you'll see dudes in there that are laughing in the same exact way. Because it's just funny to see other people's reactions, like crying to it, you know?
So where did you go to basic training?
Everyone who's infantry goes to Fort Benning for basic training.
Every infantry?
Every infantry guy, yep, goes to Fort Benning.
Okay, got it, because I don't think my dad went to Fort Benning, but my dad went to Fort Campbell for basic.
Is he infantry?
Oh, no. He was,
he's in soft school, yeah.
I don't know if he started out as a helicopter pilot, but
Okay.
That's what he started out with.
Nice.
So, after you went through Ranger School, where were you deployed?
Again, you don't go to Ranger School off the bat. So I had to do all that shit. So you do basic training, airborne, RIP, pass RIP. Then you get assigned to your battalion. And once you're in your battalion, there's 3 battalions, 1st, 2nd, 3rd. I got picked to go to 3rd. I didn't want to go to 3rd. I wanted to go to 1st, but...
What's the difference between the 3?
Well, 1st is in Savannah, so that's where everyone wants to go. You want to be a beach boy, you know what I mean? And then you have 2nd in Washington, which I fucking hate the cold, and then you have 3rd at Benning. But we didn't get to pick. Everyone from infantry, minus a few guys, got told we were going to 3rd batch. Like, whatever, cool, whatever.
Got it.
And then you go to your company, whatever company you get district out to, and then from there, your platoon decides when you go to Ranger School. So I did a full training cycle and deployment, came back, and then I went to Ranger School, which is like the most preferred way to do it because you want to have like that knowledge, that experience in order to go to Ranger School.
That makes sense.
But there are some guys that are just straight up PT studs. When they pass RIP, they show up, and they're absolute animals. All right, they'll send them right away.
Oh, shit.
So I did the year and a half. I did the training cycle, a deployment to Afghanistan, came back, and then went to Ranger School.
And how long were you in Afghanistan for? Like 9 months?
That one was like 4 months. We did short deployments, very short deployments.
Oh, I thought they were at least like 9 months long.
No, we did. Ours was very short.
Was it because you? Was
Just
that for every?
The op tempo we did because we were there for 4 to 7 months and then back for 8 months and just a constant cycle.
Got it. What was it like in Afghanistan during that time?
I mean, it was hot in fucking Afghanistan 2009. Like that, that was right when the surge was happening. But believe it or not, Afghanistan's awesome. Like, it's beautiful. If you were to like wipe out all the assholes, like it'd be a like vacation spot, legitimately.
I have a feeling it is because based on some photos that the press shows, it shows like people are there very nice. It's just that they're kind of in a shit situation.
Yeah, it's like Colorado, man. Like gorgeous mountains. There's a lot of green mountains. Like it's awesome, man.
I feel like a lot of people, because of what they're shown, they just think of Afghanistan as like one big desert and that's it.
Yeah, Iraq was like that.
Oh, really? So you've been in Iraq too?
Yeah. And Afghanistan was awesome, man. Like, Afghanistan was pretty. Besides all the bullshit, you know what I mean? But
got it. Have you ever had to deal with any insurgents over there?
Well, of course. And that's what war's about, I guess. Huh?
I mean, true, but then I feel like some people might have been in action, but I don't know if like actual combat though. But I have a feeling you were.
Mm-hmm. A few times.
So it's like, from what I've heard, it's like war is 90% boredom, and like that other percentage is like pure terror or something like that.
Again, it depends on what season you're there. If you're there in the springtime, you're going to get the fighting season. If you're there in the wintertime, like, you're not really going to get a fight.
Oh, really?
Are there people that fight during the wintertime? Absolutely. But, historically speaking, like, the springtime, summertime is when that's their push. That's when they come out of their caves or whatever, and they want to start fucking shit up again and taking land back.
Huh. I didn't know how that worked.
Yep. Springtime, summertime, but that's the fighting season. So if you're there during those times and you're infantry or any combat-related MOS, you're going to get into some shit.
Oh, shit. Okay. Huh. That's kind of weird. I would have thought that, like, at all points of the times that the Taliban would be, like, on edge at all times, but... Didn't know they slowed down as well.
Yeah, they slowed down. And then they got smart towards the war. Towards the end of the war, like they knew if they go out during the day, that's a whole different military they're going to fight compared to if they go out at night. Who do they hang out at night? The goons hang out at night, right? Mm-hmm. So that's us. They knew better. Like, hey, shit, it's fucking nighttime. Put your shit down.
I play all the video games and watch all the movies, but it's so cool getting like a first-hand account from somebody. And it's kind of weird because I still remember where I was on 9/11, and even though I was like in first grade. Do you remember?
Yeah, I was in math class my freshman year at Boone.
Yeah, I was in elementary school because in D.C. actually, and my dad, he didn't see the plane hit the Pentagon, but he saw the aftermath as he was going into work. And then I remember hearing the call to the office that my mom was there to pick me up, and I was like, I don't have a doctor's appointment. And then when I got home and saw what was on the news, I'm like, oh. I mean, at the time I wanted to watch SpongeBob, so that happened.
This is life-changing, man.
It really will. And it's kind of funny how I was too young to understand what was going on at the time, but for you as a high schooler, what was that like for you?
I mean, obviously, you knew what happened. Like, oh, fuck, like, this happened. And the next thing you know, like, oh, shit, like, we're going to go to war. Our homies are going to go to war. And that's when it was. Like, you had recruiters, like, the day after they were walking around high school. Like, hey, you want to join the Marines? Hey, you want to join the Army? And dudes were leaving. Dudes were dropping out right there on the spot. If they were 17, they were dropping out. And they were signing up. It's like, holy shit.
Wow, that's pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you just took the different route and.
I was all baseball out, man. That's all I wanted to do. Baseball.
And your favorite team is the Braves, right?
Yep.
I guess if you're from here, you gotta get to choose whether you are a Braves, a Marlins, or a Rays fan.
I picked the Braves because Chipper Jones was my favorite player growing up, and then my grandpa, who's 93, that's his favorite team. So I always had like the influence of the Braves. Cause my grandpa, hey, let's go to Braves spring training game. Let's go to Braves game. Oh, Braves. Okay, cool. So I like the Braves now.
Okay, got it.
I was never altered from that. Always with the Braves.
Got it. Well, they just won the World Series recently, so I bet you were very happy about that.
I was up there. I went to 2 games up there.
Oh, that's pretty sick. And you saw the winning game as well?
No, that was in Houston. We tried to go to, what was that game? Game 6? No, it was game 5. We bought another ticket because that was my second one. I went to the Saturday night game, which was $1,000 and then went to Sunday. Like, hey, they're gonna win it tomorrow. Let's go to Sunday. Another $800 and whatever it was dollars, but they lost. Like, whatever, it was still worth it. And then they had a day off, went to Houston, then won it. Like, I mean, a win's a win, but it'd have been great if I saw them win, you know what I mean?
Of course, in real life person. Well, at least your team can actually win something, because my favorite sports team is the Florida Panthers, and we've sucked for a very long time. And only in the past 2 years have we gotten good, so maybe, hopefully, they can actually make some kind of push in the playoffs this year.
Hopefully for you. Save that money up so you can get a ticket.
Absolutely. But then I'd have to save up extra money because I have to drive back home, and that's 3 hours away.
In Miami? Take a little $100 flight down there, man.
Oh, no, dude. I'll just drive. I like keeping all my stuff in my car. I don't know. It's more secure. Plus, my parents live in Boca, which is about an hour north of Miami, but they live 10 to 15 minutes away from the beach. That's where I grew up. But I liked being in my room rather than being outside.
Yeah.
It's all right, though. Actually, it's funny. When I was in 5th grade, I wanted to be a Marine really badly. And since my dad was in the Army, he was like, Danny, if you join the Marines, I will kill you before the enemy does. But then he was like, you're not joining the military. Or if you must, it must be Air Force or Navy.
He wants you to have that good life instead of dealing with all the shitty stuff in the Army and the Marine.
Got it, but I feel like that's kind of, not the charm, but
That's the point of it, Yeah.
Exactly. You're not there to paint nails or color in drawings, you're there to get shit done and make sure that we all don't get killed by people who want to destroy us.
Yep.
And what was the talk with your parents like when you wanted to join the Army?
I think my mom kind of already knew that was going to be the next route. And then my dad and everyone prior to him was all Navy. So I was the first defector in his eyes. You know how that military banter is.
Yeah.
So obviously he wanted me to go Navy. He was happy when I signed the contract to go be a SEAL, but never left. And then I switched. I mean, he still supported it, but obviously we talked shit.
Yeah.
But then even after me, my brother joined.
Oh, your brother joined too.
Yeah. He didn't join infantry though. He's an intel guy. Okay,
got it. Humant is what. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've been told that military intelligence is a good oxymoron, right? I was watching this one TikTok, and it was showed intelligence in the movies. Sir, we've got a 5-mile convoy heading 30 clicks down south, and then it showed what it actually sounded. So there's a car driving down a road. That's all I got, gentlemen.
Yeah. Everything exaggerated, man. That's how they get it approved or disapproved, you know what I mean?
I never thought of that. I just believe what Hollywood tells me, I guess. I'm just a sheep. Oh well.
They got to plus the numbers that way they can, they can approve action on it. If they say, hey, it's only one car, they're like, whatever. Someone else will deal with it.
That's right. It's probably not even worth stopping. Might not. But then, for example, whenever I think of military situations, like Rangers, for example, or SEALs, I think of that movie Act of Valor.
Yeah.
Actually, this is kind of bad, but I was actually on a flight to Israel because I'm Jewish, and during that time, I was watching Act of Valor on the flight, and then there was that scene where the woman with the strapped-up bomb vest came out, and then I knew what the next line was going to be. Of course, it was going to be bomb, but I said it out loud. I whispered it because I realized that would have been a problem if I yelled it out loud. Bomb!
You would have got shot by a bunch of rubber bullets, probably.
Oh, yeah, probably. And then they detained me, and then they
beat the shit out of you.
Yeah, of course.
You'd have been like that other Asian dude in the airplane getting drugged back. You.
Yeah, but instead of United, it's El Al.
Yeah.
Man, how long ago was that when that guy got dragged out?
It could have been that long, 5 years maybe, within the last 5 years.
It feels so recent though, because like in El Al, before you actually go onto the plane, they have this person who like screens and profiles everybody. And so like I was really fidgety and nervous because I don't like getting asked questions by authority. When she was like asking all these questions, I was like, I really hope I don't look like a terrorist right now. I'm just trying to get on a flight. And then like she asked if I had any weapons, and I'm like, I have a little pocket knife, on the side of my bag, but that's about it. But nothing bad about that. Besides getting deployed to like Iraq and Afghanistan, have you ever traveled outside the country?
I did a trip to Israel when I was in.
Oh, really?
I did some stuff with a couple of their guys. It was awesome. I trained with the Brits down in Belize for like a month in the jungle. That's about it.
Got it.
Travel-wise, at least.
What was your favorite deployment or extra kind of training that you got?
Well, I mean, it's two different things, though. Obviously, dudes like us want to deploy, so I'm gonna say deployment. But if you're asking me like what was the most fun, it would be Belize. Belize is awesome, man.
Got it. What made it so fun?
Just like the environment down there is just completely different. Like everything is so relaxed and chill. But then you can drive an hour, 2 hours up north, and you're in this like rolling hill with like old Mayan ruins.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, it's awesome, man.
You like history?
Yeah.
And it's so weird to think that a whole civilization lived there, and now they're just kind of, it's gone.
Yeah, the Belize is awesome, man. Like I said, you go to the islands. When you go charter a fishing trip, it's not a boat like you do it here. Like you're on a little, probably 14, 16 foot boat, and you're hand fishing with the spool and line, and you're just dropping it down on the reef, catching it, and you're just reeling that thing back up, man. Like there's no fishing poles. It's like legit fishing. You know what I mean? It's fun, man.
Sounds painful, especially like if they're really pulling.
Oh, we caught like 100 fish, so it was like our hands were all bleeding and shit, but it was awesome, man.
Oh, great. Have you ever watched the show River Monsters?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's this thing called catfish noodling. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah.
Have you ever done it?
No.
I feel like I'd be too scared. Not that catfish are deadly, but I feel like the teeth would just be irritating to like just put your hand in there.
Well, you can find pictures and videos of dudes doing that shit, and then an alligator snapping turtle bites half their fingers off.
Oh, great.
Google it next time you're bored and look at it. Yeah, that's why I had no desire to do that.
That's the kind of stuff you Google when you're bored.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, that's not too far-fetched from what I've looked up, because sometimes whenever like I hear about a disease and I'm just like, I wonder what this does to the human body. Oh my god, this is disgusting, but I can't stop watching.
Mm-hmm. Same thing.
Yeah, I guess so. Just different stuff, but same caliber of grossness. And I'm sure that, not gonna lie, there have been a couple of things that you showed me from your Ranger group chat that are, I guess, would be deemed kind of gross, but it's like funny amongst you guys.
Yep. Some nasty memes, yeah.
Well, I guess that based on what you've seen, you kind of developed like a different sense of humor, maybe darker, you would say.
No, it's definitely dark humor.
I mean, I like dark humor, so it doesn't bother me, but with some other people, they can be kind of sensitive.
That's what everyone says till they go down the rabbit hole of dark humor, and they're like, holy shit, this is too dark.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting this. Well, you asked for it, so you're getting it.
Mm-hmm.
So you trained in Belize, and you trained in the islands. You've been to Iraq and Afghanistan. How many deployments have you been on in total?
6. One's on Iraq and then 5 to Afghanistan.
Which base were you stationed at in Afghanistan during your time?
We were all over, man. Up north, down south, east. The only place I didn't go in Afghanistan was out west.
And what's your favorite part of Afghanistan? I mean, like, regional part.
Scenery-wise or action-wise?
I would say you can answer both.
Scenery-wise would definitely be up north. If you want to talk about fun stuff, it'd be out east, like in the KG Pass. That's where the fun stuff happens.
You mean the fighting? I guess for you that's fun though.
Mm-hmm.
See, one thing that when I think of Rangers, I think of badasses, and so not gonna lie, when I saw your tattoo of it's the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, right?
Yep.
Not gonna lie, I was like, honestly, I'm not surprised that a Ranger would get that tattoo. You were kind of like the angel of death to some insurgents over there, weren't you?
I don't know.
Okay, well, we don't. Don't worry, I'm not going to ask any further questions. But, so what made you want to get that tattoo?
I think it's like one of the things like majority of Rangers do. You come from an deployment, you have money, and you go, I'm going to get a fucking sleeve. I'm going to get 2 sleeves, and it just goes on. But most of my other ones, like I have a St. Michael in this arm, and I had a Celtic cross up here, and I was like, yeah, I want to keep it biblical. I started flipping through shit, and I started flipping through Revelations, and then came across Revelations 19 about the 4 horsemen, all that bullshit. And I started reading through, like, oh, that's fucking badass, man. I sent the quote back to my platoon leader. I had a full like Japanese koi fish dragon sleeve too, but it was awesome. I hit the same guy up he went to, and actually like 4 or 5 other of us used him afterwards too, because he was awesome out of Atlanta. His name was Chris Vennekamp, and sent him the quote when I was still overseas. He drew everything up, and then came home, got like a 3 or 4 day time blocked off, and then drove from Columbus to Atlanta every day. I did 3 10-hour sessions back to back.
Ooh.
Waited a week. And then, or waited maybe 2 weeks, let it heal a little bit, and then did like another 3-hour touch up. Waited like another month, went back up again, got it touch up again. But he wasn't happy. But I was like, yeah, I need this thing knocked out like as fast as you can.
Totally understandable, but yeah, I can totally see why he wasn't happy. But did any part of that hurt at all? Or?
The elbow and the armpit are like the absolute worst part.
Got it. Oh, so it goes all the way here because I've only seen it up to here.
Yeah, it's just like just go all the way up.
Oh,
but
shit.
It sucked. The elbow sucks. Elbow probably like the worst pain.
Not gonna lie, because of some bruises that it can have that dark red indentation. It kind of looks like you got a huge bruise, but then
when I first saw, people thought I was bleeding because it was like so bright and red, and yeah, everyone thought I road rash on my arm or something like that.
Eek. Still, it's a pretty badass tattoo though.
Thank you. A lot of money.
I bet. I'm not gonna ask, but I'm sure I'll take your word for it.
$3,500, maybe a little bit more. I don't remember what I gave him for tip here and there, but yeah, it was $100 an hour, 33 hours at least.
So now that I look at your cup, I remember what our old GM Doc used to say. But turns out there's a difference between a crossed and a tabbed Ranger.
Yeah. So you don't have a cross Ranger, but you have the tab. Where is it? There. The tab. That's when you go to Ranger school. So anyone can get that.
Got it.
That's a school you go to. You know, like I said earlier, Coast Guard, Navy. Anyone can go to that. And then the scroll is what you get when you pass RIP. Now it's called RASP, and that's like your unit patch. Obviously, you see the 3 on it. Mm-hmm. If I was second bat, it'd be 2. First bat, 1. Obviously, then you have regiment. It'd say 75th on it, and then yeah, it's just that's just what your unit identifier is.
Cool. Well, all very interesting stuff, Kyle, and thank you for your service. So then, after your time in the Army, you then just moved back here, and then you found MGA, right? Or
yeah. So I mean, when I first got out, what everyone wants to do when they get out is contract. Oh, I'm gonna be a fucking contractor, make fucking $8 billion a year.
You like Blackwater?
Yeah, they'd already been disbanded by the time I got out. But you had Triple Canopy, SOC, all kinds of crazy companies that were out there doing stuff, and that's what I wanted to do. It was right when I got out of the Army was right when the election had changed over, right? So when I started like putting feelers out and getting hired, I got picked up by Wamba there. Hey, we have to redo because my clearance lapsed like right as I got out of the Army. Mm-hmm. It doesn't expire when you get out of the Army. You still have some time afterwards, whatever it is. But mine was 5 years from the time it started, and I got it in like 2012. So right at the 5-year mark, which when I got out, it lapsed. So I didn't have any clearance anymore. So they were like, hey, it's going to be like another year and a half until we can get you through, because now with the new presidency, we have to do every one of their clearance first. And I was like, fuck that. Like, I'm not going to hang out for a year and a half.
For real.
So I started looking around town and seeing what was going on. And then I was like, you know what, fuck it. Like, I'll just apply for the GI Bill. I'll just go back to school. So I started doing school, and then I was like, I'm fucking bored. I can't do this shit. I need to get out of the house. Just happened like mess around on Indeed or whatever it was, and I saw MGA on there. And I was like, oh, shit. Let's just machine gun range. That sounds pretty badass.
Right.
So I emailed Dave, send resume, all this shit like that. And then he called me back. He's like, yeah, come on in. And I was like, well, wait. Because as soon as I set the resume up, that company called me back. And they're, hey, we'll give you an interim clearance if you want to come get hired on. I'm like, fucking sweet, cool. Went to go do that. And they're like, oh, shit, sorry, we lied to you. And I was like, motherfucker, I already told Dave I can't fucking work. So I had to do the whole process over again. Emailed Dave, didn't answer. I think he was like, oh, this guy's fucking me. I'm not going to answer. Waited like another 2 weeks. Emailed him again. Like, hey, the contract stuff done. I'm sorry. Whatever the case was. He called me in, did the interview, and got hired right there.
Oh, nice.
It's been 4.5 years now.
Nice. It's probably a lot of fun to shoot all the guns there and to like interact with all of them as well.
It's definitely fun to shoot it, but you get them dumbass customers that just make you question like, why am I here? Why am I putting up with these dudes? And I'm not a fucking patient man by any means. So it's like, why am I here right now dealing with this shit? You know what I mean?
True, but at least you're doing it with fun stuff, right? Yeah. You could be, not to rip on Dunkin' Donuts, but I know Dunkin' Donuts has their own fair share of dumb people they have to deal with.
Absolutely, yeah. Hats off to anyone in the service industry.
Especially
right now. A bartender, I couldn't fucking do it. I did fired like the first 2 days I was there.
Yeah. I worked at an acai bowl place during the pandemic, and so like people were being extra bitchy, especially since it was Maitland and everyone was all high end. It's like, why is my acai bowl taking so long? It's actually really funny too, because when I was interviewed, turns out my boss was a huge gun nut. So when he saw Machine Gun America, I go, yeah, I worked at a gun range, and so we were talking about guns the first part of the interview.
I mean, that's the biggest thing I like about MGA. It's like I can actually talk shit to your face, and you can't do anything about it. I know you've heard me in there talking shit to customers, but
I never saw you, but like I've only heard stories. The kid with the shotgun.
Oh, that crybaby?
I guess that's one customer that you were just like, man, what the fuck are you thinking? I mean, this kid, he was being kind of a brat to his parents. Oh, and one thing that a lot of non-gun people don't know is that you're not supposed to put your finger on the trigger unless you're ready to pull. And I remember just listening to you going, finger on the trigger, finger off the trigger, finger off the trigger. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure you've had to deal with other customers where you have to tell them multiple times.
That's why I kind of like adjusted it to where like, I won't take it off safe until you're fingered off it. Because like some of our shows will give you the gun like ready to go. Like I don't want that. I feel like potential to them to literally grab it and pull the trigger as they're trying to grab onto the gun.
Yeah, and we don't want like another misfire. Because I've actually seen a few clips of like people with misfires and whatnot, and it's just like this one guy, he had two hands on this, like I think it was a Smith & Wesson 500 because it looked pretty big, and he was just in the doorway, and then all of a sudden it just goes off. And then the guy behind him was like, was that supposed to happen? And he goes,
yeah. I know he had it up in the air.
Yep.
Yeah, I know yep.
Got it. And so you do shooting outside of MGA, though, and the Army, though, right?
I didn't really get into shooting when I was in the Army. Because we shot so much, like, no one wanted to fucking do it on our off time. I mean, there are some guys that did it. Like, there's a guy that was in my unit, he was sponsored by Glock while he was in. Like, he's a fucking great shot.
Oh.
But it was like one of those things, like, you shoot so much, you just don't want to do it. It's like the same as camping. I used to fucking love camping. I had no desire to ever go camping ever again.
You don't want to dig another foxhole?
But even that, I mean, I have a little badass, like, one-person combat tent. I could pop that thing up and be good to go, but I just had no desire to do it.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you've already spent all your time in the mud or sand. Mm-hmm. The reason why I ask is because I know that you've actually won, like, shooting competitions. Is that correct?
Not anything big, just, like, local ones. I'm not, like, Jerry Mitchell-ish or anything, you know what I mean? I'm not that good, but...
True. You won first place, though.
Yeah.
So, people who are bad don't win first place, Kyle. So what does that say about you?
I mean, maybe everyone else there was bad. And I was just the best shitty person.
Oh, shut up, Kyle. But I know you have a sidearm that you keep on you at the range, and I bet you love the fact that you can open carry at the range, too, right?
I mean, I carry a gun regardless.
True. And, like...
Nothing new to me. I could just leave it outside of my shirt now,
Mm-hmm.
Same thing, but yeah, I carry everywhere.
Nice. And what do you got?
I carry the same gun I carry at work, the Glock 19. Different setup, but same thing.
How many guns do you own besides your rifle and your Glock? Oh, wait, hold on. Can you actually tell me this without the ATF getting...
Yeah, it don't matter.
Okay, cool.
I probably have like 10 or 11.
Nice.
I sold a lot of shit during COVID I didn't need anymore. Because I tried to slimline everything I had to like 3 different rounds, you know what I mean? And the most common rounds of 9mm, 5.56, and 308. I got rid of all the other stuff, 40E, 45, all that stupid bullshit, 380. And I sold that off to people that wanted guns and couldn't get guns during COVID,
Yeah, like, I think right after the pandemic, fully hit and everybody went into lockdown, I remember it's like in the month of May or June, there were like 14 million submissions for background checks for guns.
Yeah.
It was a crazy time.
People were scared, yeah.
See, I'm just glad that it wasn't like a bubonic plague where it wiped out literally a third of our population, but dang, people were crazy. I mean, you remember the whole toilet paper situation.
Yeah. Again, guys like us don't give a shit. I'll wipe my ass with fucking a t-shirt and paper towel. I give a fuck. You know what I mean?
My dad said he used to wipe his ass with socks.
Yeah, I used to cut the top off my sock, my boot sock. They come up like to your knee. Cut a top off, wipe your ass with that, throw that away. You still got a sock, and you can still use it. You know what I mean? Or I used to cut sleeves off my shirt too.
Dang, badass.
Not really. It's just how to wipe your ass with something other than fucking leaves,
Badass. And do you still keep in contact with a lot of your buddies from the Ranger?
Most of them, yeah. Some of them are still in, so.
Oh, really?
They're still doing hood rat shit.
Hood rat shit, is that what y'all call it?
Mm-hmm. Or goon stuff. Moons out, goons out.
I don't know why, but this reminds me of a situation that happened at my school. So I was in Greek life. During one of their pledge nights, I got in trouble because they were all having the new guys like lay face down on the ground. And one of the guys who was one of the pledge masters, he takes out a rifle, cocks it back, and like places it against one of the pledge's heads, even though it was completely empty. And so around that time was when I learned Photoshop. So what I did was I found one of those tanks that said "Suns out, guns out," but instead I scribbled out "Suns out" and I wrote "Pledges out, guns out, Russia."
No, I would beat that dude's ass if he did that shit to me.
Oh yeah, for real. There's this recent gun range video where a guy was like taking a picture of, he was holding the pistol up to somebody's head and like the RSO just completely like ripped his arm down. I was like, get the fuck out. Have you had situations like that at MJ?
No, I mean, you see how close we are to him. There's no way anything like that can happen.
Okay.
But I had 2 Brazilian kids. This was prior to COVID. 2 Brazilian kids, and they spoke English, so it wasn't like a language barrier thing. They had a 3-gun package, and we do the fuzz at the end. You can like point towards the wall, and like everything's safe, all kosher, right? First gun to give it back to me, he pointed at me, and I was like, "Hey man, like get the gun, point at the wall, I'll grab it." And he's like, "Okay, yeah." Second gun, point at the wall, and then pointed at me, and he starts laughing. I was like, "Hey, bro, like, don't point the fucking gun at me again." Put it back to the wall, put that one down, got the next one, did it again, starts laughing. So I grabbed the muzzle, and I fucking butt struck him in his fucking forehead. Like, racked his head against the back of the wall. He came forward, eyes like this big. And I was like, "Get the fuck out of the fucking ring." I think it was like Suzanne or Nealon or one of them old people who were in the range. They were like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "Yeah, this kid just fucking pointed the gun at me." Went to the whole thing. Holy shit. But thinking back, I should have got the damn video of that shit and posted that.
Yeah, for real. I mean, everyone would be like, "You were in the right, Kyle."
Yeah, there's no way Dave or anyone would be like, "Oh, you're in the wrong, you're fired."
I mean, it's literally one of the rules of gun safety. Even if it's empty, don't point the barrel at anybody.
Yeah.
And so, actually, I just had McDojo Life on the show recently. So I asked him, assuming all guns were legal, and, the guns that you don't have, what would you shoot on your ideal range day?
Well, I've never shot an MP7, so I want to shoot an MP7. A minigun. Never shot a minigun.
Really?
Nope. That'd be badass. And then like a fucking tank or something would be cool.
M1 Abrams, just...
Yeah. And I know like Battlefield or one of those that they have an artillery piece you can shoot, but it's like $4,000 for one round. I was like, nah.
$4,000 to lose my hearing forever? Yeah, no thanks.
Not doing that, yeah. If it was like $500, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
$4,000, not happening.
Yeah, I better be taking the artillery piece home afterwards if I'm paying $4,000.
Well, I heard like in like Indonesia, like Vietnam and shit, you can rent RPGs, and if you pay like an extra fee, you can shoot at a cow. Like I 100% would do that. There wouldn't be anything left of that thing. Sorry to all your vegan viewers, but
yeah, well, I'm a carnivore too, so if anything, I'll just try to find any pieces of meat that haven't completely vaporized. And if
I don't think you'd want to eat it.
True, if anything, it'd be too burnt.
You get all that that and all that explosive residues all over that shit.
Oh, true, yeah. I keep forgetting about all those extra metals. Like, one thing that I was introduced to when I first got into MJ was those wipes that you wipe your hands with.
D-lead wipes, yeah.
Oh, and then every one of the RSOs has to get tested for lead poisoning. I'm like, nice. Yep. So like I said, the conclusion before, you're just built different, Kyle.
I mean, I'm not immune to lead, though. My shit was high as fuck for a while. Yeah.
Really?
I never used gloves or any of that, yeah.
All right, well, you're here now.
I think I was at like 17% one time I got tested. Like, bad. I think they said like if I got to like 19 or something like that, I'd have to go off the range and like work as a cashier or whatever for like a month or whatever.
Just get those levels down.
Yeah, so like, oh, okay, I'll start wearing gloves. I'll start using D-lead wipes. And
is it on the actual bullet casings? Is it on the belts?
Anything lead. So any round you touch that has lead. We used these like non-lead rounds for a while, but they didn't work right.
They jammed a lot.
Yeah, I was like how to like mitigate how all the RSOs were getting lead. They didn't work as well, so I started using random rounds, or not random, but factory rounds again. But yeah, the D-lead wipes. I have laundry soap, like a laundry mix I have to put in, and like all my uniforms like stay in one basket. That way I can D-lead the entire fucking thing.
Oh crap!
And then my numbers went like fucking way down.
Well, then in that case, I think I might have to get that too, because I know I'm not on the range side a lot, but it's, a lot of the times I'm in.
I mean, if you're in there, once a week, if that, and you're not touching anything, so you'll be all right.
Cool. It's not like kryptonite,
No, yeah.
Cool. Because just imagine if like kryptonite was like the casings of our bullets, then we obviously couldn't have Superman there or something like that.
Yeah, it's not in the casings, it's in the round itself. So
Lex Luthor would definitely pay handsome money for that.
Mm-hmm.
And so you said you still had buddies in the service. Just wondering, the guy on your bracelet right here, was he a Ranger as well?
No, but his older brother was my executive officer when we were in. And then I actually went to Ranger school with Darren.
And that's the name of the guy?
That's how I met him. I met him because of Ranger school, and I was like, hey, you're our XO's brother because you look just like him. He's like, oh yeah, that's my brother Miles, blah, blah, blah. And then we became tight in Ranger school. And then he got out. Well, we got out of Ranger school. He went back to his unit. I got back to my unit. And then we deployed to Afghanistan like right afterwards. No, so I was a year. Yeah, no, I did Ranger school, Iraq, came back, and then Afghanistan. So that third deployment is when he passed away. But he was supposed to come over and hang out because we were at the same station for a while. He was supposed to come hang out with his brother, and then one night just didn't come back.
Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that for you. Is there anything that you do to, like, celebrate his life every year?
Oh, you drink beers.
Got it.
On the day they go,
Got it. Is he buried in Arlington, or?
I think he is in Arlington, yeah.
Arlington is very storied. Mm-hmm. And actually, my dad, I remember one President's Day while we were living up there, he took my sister and I to go see the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. And so, granted, I didn't know the significance of it at the time because I was just so young. But then apparently the process to become a Tomb of the Unknown Soldier guard is, like, rigorous. You're not supposed to drink alcohol for, like, 6 months, or do you know the parameters for that?
I know, but I know like the standards are very high there.
And, like, you're not even allowed to even talk to anybody, like, outside of that. Mm-hmm. Props to those guys who do the guard duty, because it sounds like, I don't know, brings some people to insanity. Yeah,
rain, snow, it doesn't matter. They're out there. It's pretty crazy.
It is pretty nuts. Just imagine, like, there was that one scene in, like, I forgot which Modern Warfare it was, but it's like when the war came to DC, and I'm just like, would he still be just doing his regular thing if the enemy pulled through Arlington?
They'd probably strap him up and give him some real rounds.
Probably a plate carrier too. By the way, how much does a plate carrier actually weigh when it's on you?
Just depends what your loadout is. You can carry all kinds of shit on those things.
What about, do you have a plate carrier?
Yeah.
What do you carry on yours?
Mine's all slick now, just magazines.
Smart.
I don't have any of the hood rat shit anymore. I don't have radios, I don't have grenades, I don't have any of that stuff. Just magazine and plates. So pretty light.
Okay, got it. So you're a lot more mobile if, like, shit were to hit some kind of fan.
I mean, I'd carry that shit if I could. I just don't have anything,
Exactly.
I have those, like, shutter bomb, whatever, smoke grenades.
Oh, that's pretty sick.
I could throw those on them.
I didn't know that was legal. Not legal, but, like, I didn't know that was allowed to be sold to the public.
Smoke grenades, yeah. You can go on your computer right now and buy it. I think last time I bought them, they were like 10 sets for $100.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Okay, that's really not bad at all.
It's like photography and videos and stuff.
Oh, true.
I think it's called like a shutter bomb or shutter something or another.
Okay, got
I don't know how you haven't seen an ad for them. I see it all the time.
Now that you mention it, I do see like all those, like, cool effects. Yeah. And if the war was to be brought to America, it's like, wow, I used to be a photographer. This was great. Smoke out for targets or something like that.
I think they only burn for like 10 seconds probably, so it's not doing anything, but we got them to fuck around one time. I think I still have like 4 left over.
Sounds pretty fun to just play around with, though.
4th of July, yeah. That's when I threw them, just to see what they were like. There wasn't a lot, but
it's still added to the.
You throw them inside. If you throw them in this room right here, it'd fucking engulf the whole room. But
oh, really?
Outside, I didn't get to do anything.
I know that you originally went to college to play baseball. So after the Army, do you still play in any kind of, like, recreational league of some sort?
Yeah, I play a men's league. Shit, last season I played Monday and Thursday. Next week we start back up again, only Thursday. But we took home the championship last season, so trying to do it again this year.
Got it. And what's your position again?
We usually play like left field, center field, play outfield. If
there was one baseball player that you could fight, who would it be? Assuming you can bring them back from the dead so that you could fight them.
Great question. Who's the biggest douchebag baseball player? Probably Bryce Harper, I'd say. Fucking douche. But he's probably cool in real life, It's like one of those guys, but he just talks shit and he looks like a douchebag, so you just call him a douchebag,
Fair enough. Good answer. Yeah, good answer. All right.
Either that or the dude that, forget his name, but the dude that ratted out all the teams for cheating. Forget his name.
Snitches get stitches.
Yeah, exactly.
And they are also bitches.
Mm-hmm. That's part of baseball. That's part of anything. If you're not cheating, you're not trying,
Oh, and speaking of cheating, what was it called? Like Houston Astros. Last year or 2 years ago, they got caught for something, and it was called.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Signal calling is what it's called.
Yeah, I mean that's been going on for fucking ages, man. That's what you do. Like that's part of the game.
So I don't really know baseball that much. So what exactly is signal calling?
I mean, they took it to a next level. But I was a catcher in high school and in college. So that was part of my shit. So it's like if you're down, the batter can like look back and see what you're gonna throw. Like one is. Fucking across the board is always a fastball. If he sees a 1, he's like, oh shit, they're going to throw me a fastball. If you got a runner on second base, your job as a catcher was to change your signs up. And that was between you and the pitcher. Like, hey, the 4th number is the number that I want. Or second number, whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? That's the pitch that I want. I want, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever the case is. They were using fucking cameras and zooming in. And then, like, beating on fucking drums, like, a number of times what was coming. Or they had, like, little buzzers. And they would buzz 2 times for a fucking changeup or curveball, whatever their number scheme was.
Like I said, since I don't watch baseball, I didn't know that was a thing, but now that I think about it, damn, it's pretty scummy.
Yep.
That was the year after they won the World Series, right?
It might have been the year after. I don't remember exactly, but yeah.
It was very recent of that time.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're in the last part of the episode, and it's my favorite part of any Big DK Energy episode, which is the bonus question round. It is 10 questions that are fun to answer, but are not inappropriate, so you'll still have a job afterwards. That being said, are you ready, Mr. McManus?
Yep.
All right, so question number 1. Describe your dream rifle. Every part that you built into it, assuming everything is legal.
It's a tough question. What am I doing with it? What's the purpose behind that rifle?
If you're given a lump sum of like, I don't know, 100K to build a rifle and someone said, just go have fun with it.
If I had 100K, I'd just buy a fucking 240.
240?
So it wouldn't be a rifle, it'd be a machine gun.
All right, sweet. Just the 240 as it is, no modifications like sights or anything.
Yeah, I'd do the 240, then with the old optic, we used to run an LKN 1.5 to 6 power on it. It was fucking awesome.
Awesome.
So yeah, I'd say 240 for sure.
Okay.
Then I'd mount it in the back of the truck when shit pops off.
And you have a pretty sweet truck, I will say that. So that would be a sight to see. Number 2, you're playing catch with your 3 favorite baseball players, and if some of them are dead, you can raise them back. Who do you choose?
Well, obviously Chipper Jones for one. He got me to like the Braves. I think you got to do the legends. You got to do Babe Ruth, and you got to do Hank Aaron.
Good
like,
choices.
Hands down, you know?
Those are 2 of the best. Number 3, you're on the zombie apocalypse and you are in a band of survivors. What is your role and what does your loadout look like?
We'll just circle back to number 1, the fucking 240. It's the answer for everything.
No plate carrier or anything, literally just a 240.
What's the plate carrier going to do?
I don't know, prevent you from getting shot?
Maybe. I don't think it'll end up being like most zombie movies where there's like different bands. I think everyone comes together and like fucks up the horde.
Okay, sweet. Speaking of that, did you ever play World of Warcraft back in the day?
Nope.
Ah.
Nope.
Never mind.
I only ever really played shooters. I didn't really play anything else.
Yeah, what was your favorite shooter game?
Probably the first Modern Warfare. That
Dude.
was the epitome of like a fucking shooter. Like,
Man, I remember when that came out. It was like the most hyped game ever.
yeah, it was awesome. I mean, it was realistic, you know, at the time. Like now you got shit that like Black Ops, you get running on fucking walls. Like I was like, no, I ain't playing this shit.
Yeah, that's when it got too much.
Yeah.
Number 4, what is your dream vacation and the itinerary?
Well, like I said, I love Belize. Like Key Cocker down in Belize, a little island off the coast. It's like a 45-minute water taxi ride. I'd just go to Key Cocker and fucking sit on my ass and drink. Don't do anything. But you can, like, again, you can do like the reef fishing, which is awesome. And then that's where you probably seen photos of it. They have the they call it like the blue hole.
Oh yeah.
Like the number 1 scuba diving spot. Yeah, they had that there too. You just go out there and scuba dive if you want.
True. I have big thalassophobia, like the fear of like really deep water, so like those things kind of give me anxiety. So, number 5. Jerry Michalik has given you an hour of his time. What would you want to learn from him?
Everything.
Everything in an hour?
Everything you probably teach me in an hour, absolutely.
What is one skill that you would specifically learn from him?
Pistol draw and initial accuracy. Even now, like I know like, my biggest problem is right now my competition gonna have a red dot on it, and like I'll go to index and like my dot's either below or above where I want, and like I should practice fucking more, but with work, masters, doing other random bullshit, it's sometimes I just lose track of doing it. But I'll just get him how to draw and be that quick. I think he has the fastest shot time in the world. I think he shot like 5 rounds at a revolver in like less than a second one time. So I just find that like initial draw and accuracy and finding that red dot like a split second. That'd probably be the biggest priority I'd probably ask him.
He's insane. It's like his hand and the gun are one.
Yeah.
Like they fused together. Number 6. You're having a beer with 3 of the people who have influenced you that are not friends or family. Who would you choose?
Fucking Teddy Roosevelt. Fucking Leonidas. It's tough. It's a good question. Winston Churchill. We'll switch it up a little bit, you know what I mean?
Alright, gotta get a lad on there.
Or General Patton. Winston Churchill or General Patton.
Okay.
One of the 2.
You know what? I'll add a 4th in there because I like Patton as well. He wasn't exactly a nice guy, but he got his shit done.
That's the point of war.
And plus, Patton's a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
Number 7. You've been chosen to pick the next person to be made fun of on South Park. Who do you choose?
Let's skip that one for now. Let's come back to that one.
Okay, got it. Number 8. You are boxing the commissioner of the MLB. Who's doing color commentary, and how would you end the fight?
I mean, Joe Rogan is doing commentary. How would I end the fight?
Yeah.
I guess I would just do like some Street Fighter uppercut, like slow motion, like lift him up off his feet, and then like slowly,
You probably enjoyed every second of that. Yeah? Lock out that
Everyone
bitch.
in the fucking world would. You know what I mean?
And the best part is you now have this opportunity to box him.
I wish, man.
Number 9. You're given a day to experience Valhalla while you're alive. What is one thing there that you want to see waiting for you?
Fucking Odin, right?
Now, would you be able to speak ancient Nordic, or would he be speaking English?
Well, he's the Allseer, right? So he should know English. Plus, if he was there during the invasion of England, he knows English.
Oh, that's true. Well, English back then was way more of a different animal. In fact, like no one deciphered. Like even like I sometimes watch videos of like all those old English stuff, and There's some weird letters that even I can't understand.
Yeah. I just watched Vikings Valhalla and
was it good?
Yes, I liked it, yeah.
Okay, got it.
I'm kind of pissed I already finished it, though.
Oh, already?
Yeah.
Usually the last question I just save until the end because it's a question that everybody has their own answer for, but do you just want to just answer that and then go back to the South Park question?
Let's go back to the South Park one first, I guess. But
Okay, so you've been chosen to pick the next person to be made fun of on South Park.
I guess we're doing current events. Let's just do Putin.
Okay, sweet.
See how that kicks off something else, you know what I mean?
Great. War on Comedy Central. And, to be honest with you, Trey Parker and Matt Stone would probably be on acid and they go, okay, man, you're Putin us in a bad situation.
That's going to be the next episode. He'll be on there, I bet.
Probably. I would not be surprised. And then 10, it's a question that I ask everybody, but it always varies. And that is, what is your most recent accomplishment?
Well, the most recent one will be finishing my master's. I have 3 classes. So I'll be done by August, I think I should be done. So that's probably the biggest thing.
Well, congratulations, dude.
If you would have asked me 10 years ago, probably even 5 years ago, if I had a master's, I'd have fucking laughed. I'm like, no fucking way.
So what are you getting your master's in?
It's in intelligence management.
Nice.
Yeah, that'll be the biggest recent accomplishment, I guess.
Well, that's pretty awesome. That is a huge accomplishment. Great job, Kyle. All right, well, those were excellent answers, and unfortunately, we are at the end of the episode. I just want to say thank you for taking some time to join us.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, and so I brought you on the show because not only are you just a stand-up guy, but you entered into the Army, which not a lot of people want to do. Not to say that they're scared, but some people have to step up in order to protect us, and so you answered the call, and whether it was your initial start or not, you still did that, and yet you're still here just contributing to society and just being an overall awesome guy. So it's for all those reasons that I think you, Kyle McManus, have big DK energy.
Thanks, man.
Of course. And so he doesn't do social media, so we will not be putting any links in the description box below. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe. We appreciate all of you. And before we head out, is there anything you want to say or promote?
Check out Bauer Exothermic on Instagram.
Excellent. All right. With that being said and done, I'm Danny K of the Big DK Energy Podcast, and we're signing off.